So yeah, we just got the news. Derek Chauvin found guilty on all counts. What is your general reaction to seeing that verdict?
Well, I think it's an appropriate verdict. I would say first, regardless of the verdict, we just need to respect the process of our judicial system, which I think doesn't happen all the time, but I think we need to respect it. And the prosecution made a point of saying this was not an anti-police prosecution, that it was a pro-police prosecution, and I agree with that. Because supporting police doesn't mean that you blindly condone all the actions by police. Supporting police also includes condemnation of police misconduct and criminal behavior.
Yeah, I mean, when you saw that video, I'm assuming you've seen it, of the killing. What were you thinking when you were watching that?
Well, I was horrified by it. It doesn't just represent one person that's engaged in that behavior. When someone's wearing a police uniform and a badge, essentially they represent all of law enforcement. And unfortunately, those actions are sometimes construed to have people believe that is common in law enforcement, and it's anything but. So, I think law enforcement is better today because of this. We have one less officer that will tarnish the badge, and we need to continue to work to ensure that we hire and maintain that staff that has respect for human life.
Historically, it's been very difficult to convict police officers charged with crimes. This seems to be one of the rare instances where he was found guilty across the board. Do you think this is kind of a turning point in terms of accountability?
Well, I think so. There's been a lot that's gone on this past couple of years, and I think the cumulative result of all of that is resulting in change. And also, I think people feel more empowered to stand up for what they believe is right, and that's a good thing.
What kind of impact do you think this verdict will have on the law enforcement community writ large?
Well, I think it will just facilitate the trend that we're on now, as far as conforming or revising law enforcement and meeting the needs of our communities. Because that's really what it's all about. And so I think it makes a statement to everyone, including law enforcement, that there are certain lines that should not be crossed, and there are certain expectations. And like I said, I think overall that's good for law enforcement.
How significant, do you think it was that, this was a case where, Minneapolis police chief, basically law enforcement across the board, looked at the video and said, we can't condone this. This is inappropriate.
Yeah, I don't think this was anything of a close call at all. I think it was pretty easy to point out that this is just not conduct that should be in law enforcement. This conduct is not law enforcement. This is police brutality, and that should not have any part of law enforcement.
All right, that's about all the questions that I had, I think. Is there anything else you wanted to make sure you mentioned?
No, the other thing I would say is, our mission statement here at the Pullman Police Department is policing our community with compassion and professionalism. And those are the standards that I hold my staff to, and that the community holds our staff to. And so I commit on behalf of the men and women here that we will continue on this path to ensure that we provide law enforcement services that respects the dignity of human life.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time too, Jenkins.
All right, Casey. Thank you.
Take care.